So what is the one way that you can go out and create long-term wealth and stability? And the key word there is really stability in your life. You know, when I was younger, I got involved in business, and I quickly realized the ups and downs, the big roller coaster ride that you ride in business, right? So one of the big things I realized was there was always stability when you owned an asset, and an asset for me being real estate. Why is real estate one of the most incredible things that you can put your money in? Because real estate holds its value. It's one of the only true real assets. You know, I remember meeting a guy and he said, you know, really the only true currency in this world is silver and gold. And so I started thinking about that, and I'd sit back and go, okay, if silver and gold are the only real currencies in this world, I don't see people walking around with gold nuggets or gold bricks and saying, okay, I'm going to pay for a pizza, or I'm going to pay for a new car, and they're exchanging gold for a new car, right? So there's currency that's been put together in the form of money. But really, what ends up happening is the Federal Reserve prints money. The more money that's printed into the world, the value of that money depreciates. Well, when that money depreciates, if you don't own an asset, the dollar bill goes down in value, the expense of products or services goes up. And so here's why real estate is so cool. Is because when this happens, if you own a home, if you own a commercial building, if you own an apartment complex, if you own anything in real estate that's a true value asset, when the dollar bill goes down, let's say you buy that asset for $200,000, and let's say that the value of the dollar drops after you purchase that asset. What happens to that asset is the value of it goes up. So what you could once buy for $200,000 is now worth $250,000 because the value of the dollar dropped. So imagine this. You have $200,000 in cash in your coffee can in your backyard buried. Now the value of the dollar goes down. What was now worth $200,000 when you buried that can of cash in your backyard, now that cash is not worth what it was once worth. But you invested that cash in an asset. Now what ends up happening is you end up with a $200,000 asset that you paid for because the dollar bill went down. Now it takes $250,000 theoretically to buy that exact same asset. So when you own real estate, the value of it continues to appreciate as the dollar bill depreciates. That's why I'm here to tell you that the best investment, the only true real asset that you have out there, and the real currency is in real estate. I've been investing in real estate since 1999, and I'll tell you that it's been one of the most solid investments that I've ever made in my entire life. What's cool about what we put together is we put together courses on the Elite Real Estate Society, and I also created the Advanced Sales Formula. Two reasons. One, the Elite Real Estate Society is going to teach you the ins and outs of how we've actually purchased real estate. I wasn't some real estate guru. They don't teach this stuff in school. Now, I met a professor, and actually the dean of students in the business at the University of New Mexico in the College of Anderson Business School. And he said, no, we have real estate courses. And so I looked at the course curriculums, and I look back at the course curriculum when I became a broker, right? And I sit back and I go, okay, where are the courses that teach you how to invest? The actual investment courses. And when I came to the conclusion was there was none. They'll teach you the ins and outs of how to break down numbers. They'll teach you the ins and outs of what the terminology is in real estate. They'll teach you the ins and outs of what the difference is between commercial purchases and maybe residential purchases and the bylaws. But nobody in any course curriculum ever taught me how to invest. And so when I sat down with this individual that found me on LinkedIn and invited me to sit down and help them with a course curriculum at the university, I sat down and I told him, look, you need to teach people how to invest. Because if you're like me, you're working a job, right? Or you're running a business. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The goal is to teach people how to create wealth, or at least a viable income in their life, where they can channel that money into real estate and have a long-term asset that is viable for them to continue to produce a growing asset that pays them every single month and grows over time. And that's the goal with real estate, is to create true wealth, residual income, and an asset that's stable, strong, and safe. So, look, in 1993-94, I was introduced to direct sales and network marketing. One of the best things that I was ever introduced to in my entire life. And here's why. Because the education that was created was priceless. I went from course to course, conference to conference, just trying to get the education of how wealthy people thought, how business people thought, what the difference was between an average person working a 9-to-5 job and somebody who's created wealth in their life. And one of the things that I slowly started to figure out about 2.5 years into my endeavor was the fact that 90% of people that were successful, it was the way they thought as opposed to even what they were doing initially. But there was methodical things that were happening, and most people didn't realize the true value of sales, relationships, understanding people. And so when I went in and took courses on personal development, sales, these were life transforming courses that allowed me to open my mind and change the differences between how I thought and how I actually did things. So even though I rode a roller coaster in life, and you will too, it doesn't matter. Because the biggest thing is when you have knowledge, you have power. The biggest problem is where to find that knowledge. And most places, universities, high school, mom and dad, coaches, don't even know how to go out and create wealth and abundance in their own lives, much less to teach you how to go out and do it in your life. So that's why I created the advanced sales formula. But the advanced sales formula is over 25 years of business and sales experience. Not only teaching you how to go out and just sell. One, it teaches you the ins and outs of how to better understand who you are as an individual and why you do what you do individually, day in and day out. Because imagine trying to go out, and here's the problem. Most people try to go out and understand other people and why and how other people do what they do before they understand themselves and why they do what they do on a daily basis. Don't you think that it would make more sense as a professional to first and foremost understand who you are as an individual and understand the traits that you truly have? So one, you can take advantage of the traits you have, but also know your shortcomings and know where your voids are so that you can find other people to fill those voids. Because I'll tell you, you're not going to be a master of everything in the world, right? But you can master the things that you do best. And how much more fulfilling is it in life to be able to master what you do best as opposed to going out and trying to master everything? One, you're going to have more fun doing what you do. Two, you're going to be better at what you do because you're good at it and you enjoy doing it. And three, you can become a master for other people. But you can understand where other people's values are, where your shortcomings are. Bring those to the table and maximize the value of not only your assets, but once you understand what you're good at and what your shortcomings are, find the values in the assets of other people that you don't have and apply them to what you need for your business, for your real estate game, and whatever you're doing in life. But if you're going to sell people something, and since most businesses surround around a product or a service, you're going to be involved in sales in some magnitude. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. You could go spend the next 13 years in medical school. But when you walk out of medical school and you're a medical professional, you're a physician specializing in eyes or a renal specialist or a pulmonary specialist, or a plastic surgeon, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're an attorney or you're a teacher or you're working in public works. If you're self-employed and you have a business, you're in sales. You're always selling somebody something on what your product or service is. And in order to be able to maximize the value of what you're selling and what you're doing, don't you think it would make the most sense to first understand what you're good at, understand what your shortcomings are, and then this way you can apply the value to other people and what they need by understanding who they are, how to talk to them based on what you know they need based on what you understand about everything that you're doing as a professional. And that's how you sell. Because when you can wholeheartedly believe in everything that you're doing, and you can display that and find the voids in other people's lives, and you can find how to fill those voids with your product or your service, but understanding where their shortcomings are and understanding who they are as a person so you can help them fill those. That's why we created the advanced sales formula. Because we go over the techniques of teaching you how to understand who you are, your personality traits, how to fill the voids for other people through their personality traits, and marry the two together and create magnitude in whatever you're doing. That's how when we went out, when I came back, and even when I got out of direct sales and network marketing after a 5-year journey, and I started traditional business, I felt like I had an advantage over people. I remember coming back to college and feeling like I had an advantage over my professors. I felt like I had an advantage over my colleagues. I felt like I had an advantage over my competitors. I knew that I had an advantage over my customers. Why did I know this? Because I had learned simple concepts, not tricky, old school Zig Ziglar, the swish around the back, slam dunk sales techniques, all that little slimy stuff of like, I'm going to sell ice to an Eskimo garbage. I'm talking real life applications where you can apply to real people, where you can go out and understand what people truly need and understand their personality types and what they're looking for, the void in their life, and you fill it. And in the advanced sales formula, it teaches you to do this in business, in sales, and in real estate, and anything you do in life. You can apply these simple, applicable steps that you can take advantage of. Now, how does that have to do with real estate? Because you have to deploy money from some place to put into real estate to create the long-term vision and viability of your assets. And so, what did we do? We landed up creating businesses that created us 7 figures, 8 figures in revenue. We took the cash flow that came in from our day-to-day endeavor, our day-to-day business, which is just like a job. So if you're sitting there, you're watching this, and you're working a job, and you say, can I do this? My answer to you is absolutely. Because it doesn't matter where you come from. You can be an engineer, you could be a medical professional, you could be in any trade service in the world. But first and foremost, you have to create cash flow that you can deploy into the real estate game. For those of you guys who are watching this going, well, I don't have cash flow to deploy into the real estate game. It's okay. That's why we've also created the Elite Real Estate Society, and we've created junior ventures with other professionals that specialize in Airbnb models. A great way to get involved in real estate with little to no money down and create residual income through Airbnb and home sharing to allow you to deploy that money as you generate it. Because imagine, you go in, you get started with nothing. You start doing some Airbnb models, or we've also partnered with wholesale professionals. Now, because that doesn't fit our business model anymore, we don't go out and wholesale regularly anymore. Because the goal is not to work real estate like a job the rest of your life, because if you're going to do that, you may as well just keep doing what you're doing. The goal is to create viable revenue through a business source, whether that's real estate, whether you're an attorney, whether you're a teacher, a firefighter. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your walk of life is. The idea is to take you from that walk of life, utilize the capital that you make, deploy it into a long-term asset, whether it's retail, multifamily, storage units, it doesn't matter. But some type of commercial residual income or single-family viable income that allows you to continue earning cash flow each and every month to allow you to be able to go off and either build your portfolio or retire and live a lifestyle that allows you freedom and flexibility, because the whole goal in everything that we do in life is about freedom and flexibility, isn't it? And so I knew that when I got started, I needed to be able to create some financial viability that was stable for myself. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to take those sales techniques, allow you to go in, take advantage by having leverage in the marketplace so you can dominate over your competitors, generate larger capital, and deploy it into real estate. You can take the Airbnb models, which takes little to no money down, or the wholesaling models in real estate. Deploy the capital you learn from wholesaling real estate, from doing Airbnb and home sharing models, and put it into long-term assets. And so what the Elite Real Estate Society has done is it allows you to do just that. I go through exact steps. Look, I didn't learn this out of a book, and here's what's cool about the Elite Real Estate Society. We created not only online courses, but you become a part of an internal family. And so the Elite Real Estate Society is not only a course made to teach you a one-time deal. We have ongoing education that we're producing out there as we find the need for people to take advantage of. When we get people coming to us with obstacles, we service those obstacles with education. We teach people how to overcome those obstacles through means in real estate that we've already went through, that I've already went through, that I've already encountered. Things that I went through in 2008, 9, and 10 during the recession. And I'll tell you, the education that we've learned is priceless, because you don't have to live the ups and downs and the roller coasters that I've went through in real estate. You can take advantage of the knowledge that we've gained from going through those ups and downs in simple courses, becoming a part of our internal family. We created Real Estate Domination 2019 a few months ago, and Real Estate Domination 2020 is just going to prolay what we did in Real Estate Domination 2019. And one of the biggest things when I put Real Estate Domination together as a piece of the Elite Real Estate Society, one of the biggest things that I said, we have to create a training program based on 100% value. And so, how do you do that? You know, I was going to these conferences, I was being asked to speak at these business conferences, and what I learned from doing that was that there was a bunch of garbage out there, a bunch of noise. And what I mean by that is with the internet, we're at the mercy of everything that's at our fingertips, good or bad, it doesn't matter. But one thing I realized, not having any type of social media presence 2 years ago, immersing myself in the social media world, I realized that there was people out there selling garbage. I realized there was people out there talking about things they had no idea, the true viability, they had no experience in it, and it was garbage. And I felt like, I can't be a part. I used to call them the quacker crackers, because it was just people talking ridiculous garbage about things that I didn't even understand what the hell they were selling. I knew they were taking advantage of people's pocketbooks. And so the goal was true value. Why? Because we want to be able to create wealth in people's life through the means of real estate. Allow them to come in and be a part of our inner circle in our bigger picture, which is Quad J Capital Holdings. It's our investment company, where we take commercial holding assets that are worth $10 million, $15 million, $20 million, $25 million assets. Stuff that we understand. People can't go out and purchase on their own. They can't go out and just turnkey understand how to, one, purchase it, but then two, run it and manage it, and come up with a capital and the holdings and the legal paperwork and everything else with it. So I wanted to create value from the basics of people just like you and I, and be able to take those basic skills from working professionals, people just like yourself, watching this today, but put value behind it with substance that people could utilize, that they could take firsthand and apply it and generate profits. Because imagine, what would it be worth to you if you started today in real estate, and just with some of the simple applications that we teach, you were able to go out and just one turnkey transaction in 1 year, you generated an extra $30,000 to $40,000 in the next 12 months. And stop for thinking, are you getting wealthy with $30,000 to $40,000? No. But imagine for the majority of our world, the majority of our U.S. population, how a simple $30,000 to $40,000 of supplemental income would be life-changing for the majority of the masses of people. And the biggest thing is being able to teach people the simple concepts on how to transform their life in a small way. Because if you were able to go out and just generate an extra $30,000 to $40,000 off one simple transaction, would it be worth investing in something that was going to teach you how to do that? Now look, we didn't produce the Elite Real Estate Society or the Advanced Sales Formula or any of this stuff for free. Why? Because there's value in investment. I've never been to a conference that I've ever attended for free where there was true value, that something came out of it. And so understand that I put the Elite Real Estate Society Advanced Sales Formula together with true value, but I want to make sure that you're invested in yourself, invested in your education. Because I know that through the investment that you purchase any type of asset with, you're going to pay closer attention and you're going to give more to yourself. Now, how much is this worth to you? Well, initially I sat back and said, okay, why don't we make this a ticket price of about $3,000? But then I sat back and I thought, okay, if I make this a $3,000 ticket price item, how many people are really going to be able to take advantage of it? So I said, okay, I want to attract the masses. I want to make sure that I can attract the majority of people to be able to come in and be a part of this internal team. But I knew that I'd be limiting the amount of people that would be following what we're doing if I went in and charged a larger ticket item. So I said, what if we came in and we just made it under $1,000 to allow people to be a part of what we're doing? One, they're showing the value of investment in their education in themselves. Because if you stop to think about this, if you go out and you take a real estate course in college, for example, how much is a semester of college, books, time, and energy that you're going to pay to be able to go out and take this at any type of university or institution? And the answer is it's going to cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and hundreds of man hours that you're going to have to invest in not only yourself, but in the educational platform of what you're doing. And then you still haven't went out and applied the information yet. So I understood that going out for most students and going to university and learning how to invest, even if they did have a course, which they don't, would cost them thousands of dollars. You may spend $20,000, $30,000 a year to try to get what you can get out of the Elite Real Estate Society in our online modules, and then becoming a part of Real Estate Domination, our real life events, and be a part of our internal team where you have internal support from our people, from our investors, from our team, from myself. And so the biggest thing is, how much would that cost if you went and did that at a university level? And the answer is thousands of dollars, student loans, student debt, and you start your life out backwards. What if I can show you a way where you take a small, modest investment, you take advantage of it, and turnkey in 6 months, theoretically speaking, you could go out and generate $30,000, $50,000, or even $100,000 in the next year that you can apply and start utilizing that money to deploy into a long-term asset. True currency. Remember when I was talking about the printing of the dollar bill? True currency in real estate. So no matter what the market does, you have a viable asset that's appreciating in value and has residual income that's paying you every month from your investment through rents, through appreciation, through depreciation of taxes and assets, and all the different viable ways of generating capital through real estate. You're not going to learn that unless you invest in you, unless you invest in the Elite Real Estate Society. Click below and learn more about what the investment is to you, what the value is to you, how to go in, sculpture your life. Doesn't matter where you are as a professional, what you're doing as a professional. Take advantage of the Advanced Sales Formula, the techniques that I've learned over the last 25 years that I've put into simple concepts and training that will allow you to take advantage of the same type of leverage and education that I've taken advantage of for many years, so that you have leverage over your competitors, over your colleagues, over your professional, over your kids and children, your mom and dad, and all the people around you because of what you've learned through a simple investment in courses. Be able to take that wisdom, take that knowledge, invest it in an asset, in real estate, the only true currency in the world today, and learn how to take that investment and allow it to grow. You want to be a part of our team? You want to be a part of what Quad J Capital Holdings has put together, part of the elite real estate society? You can't be a part of it if you don't take action. And most people sit around contemplating to consider, to evaluate whether they should take advantage of an opportunity, while successful people take action. I've never met a successful person that didn't make a quick decision that was logical and moved forward without changing their mind. You want to be successful in life? Do what the masses of successful people do. Click below. Take action. I look forward to working with you with the Elite Real Estate Society, Quad J Capital Holdings. Let's work together. Let's create wealth together. Let's go out and make this a life-changing event and an education that starts today by clicking below. And I look forward to working with you. I look forward to seeing you in the future.